Thank you so much, Sai. So the first question for you is that as PCOD or anyone who have hormonal imbalance, what all markers as a dermatologist you would suggest them to see?
See what happens that in in a dermatology clinic,
Mm-hmm.
say out of 10 patients walking into your clinic, almost 5 to 6 they have PCOD. PCOD has become that common now. Some are symptomatic and some are asymptomatic. The meaning of symptomatic means they have irregular periods, irregular cycles. Then they have symptoms like they get acne, they get excessive hair growth, which we call hirsutism, and sometimes they get hair fall. Some people are obese. Uh, and some they get hair fall, a little bit of a baldness on the frontal area. People get because of the obesity they also get some sort of pigmentation in the folds, especially on the this we call as perioral area. uh, so yes, there are different presentations, but at the same time sometimes some patients they get all the in the sense they get acne, pigmentation, or hair fall. They have PCOD, but they get regular periods. They are not obese, they are thin. So there is a varied presentation of this PCOD patient. And also you have to really in a private practice you can't left and right give everyone to do the tests, because sometimes some patients are not symptomatic and some patients are symptomatic. Now the tests which are done on the second day of your period. From second to fifth day of your period you have to do these tests, and these tests are serum testosterone, which is total and free, then prolactin, then DHEAS. These are the important thing. Then, of course, in that parameter, you get luteinizing LH ratio. But most important things are testosterone, DHEAS, and prolactin. Sometimes these PCOD patients they also have insulin resistance. So if you wish, you can do insulin resistant test also. So you can do serum insulin test. What I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes some patients are very thin and they have regular cycles. Okay, and but they have hirsutism. If you do the test, sometimes the test can also come negative, in the sense all the hormone parameters they don't come positive all the time. Okay, and also sometimes you have to do sonography to see the follicles in the ovaries, but even sometimes the sonography will also come negative. Now, there are certain markers, clinical markers, which will tell us that this patient has PCOD. So, the test is only useful when it depends on what condition you want to treat.
So,
Because, huh,
yeah. So, as you said, there is a pigmentation on this. You said the oral area, if I'm not wrong.
uh, around the lips, this area is called as perioral area, means around the lips. This area gets little pigmented. Then you get pigmentation on the neck here, and the
Okay.
neck becomes we call it as a velvety appearance. It becomes thick. The skin over the neck becomes thick.
Okay. So, doctor, there is two way people will be approaching. One will be they will be going to like BLCC or body care.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
You cannot hear me.
Yeah, now
Am I,
but the voice is going in between.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are two set of people. One will be visiting a doormat, and second will be visiting maybe salons like BLCC or here. So there they actually promote lot of what we say is like machine use of pigmentation. How you can go for chemical peelings and lasers for Does they really help?
So the most, so see, PCOD is, it's not a disease, it's a disorder where it's lot to do with your lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay, so we always tell people that you have to reduce weight, reduce
Mm-hmm.
certain nutritional things like certain food items, like reduce dairy, reduce sugar, reduce fried food. And once they lose weight, all the hormones will fall in place, and then only these pills and these treatments will work. Okay, if you have, I mean, those who have PCOD, they have to have a disciplined lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Disciplined lifestyle means you can't have a sedentary lifestyle where your hormones are becoming stagnant, and you're not losing weight. So weight loss is very important in case of PCOD. And as I told you that sometimes they are some people are not obese, but then they have to be physically active. So if you're physically active, if your weight is under control, if your dairy consumption and the fried consumption is under control, all your problems will fall in place. And in the sense, your pigmentation will reduce, your acne will reduce, and of course then simultaneously when you treat these patients, then the treatment works well.
This answer was really helpful for me because anytime we go to salon, they just offer us start with chemical, start with laser, do that, do this. And I think this was very helpful for even me. I don't have PCOD, but still, I think at every stage of our life, like once in a while, a women have hormonal imbalance. And I
Yes.
guess this was really helpful for me. Yeah. Ma'am, you just said like going dairy free. So dairy free, as we reach a lot on internet that can you not hear me?
Voice is cracking.
It's still cracking.
No, I think when you talk, you have to, I think, come closer to your device, then the voice will come.
Now it's
Yeah, now it's proper.
okay. So, ma'am, as you just said, like going lactose free. So we see a lot of internet diet or a lot of people saying, like especially Dermat, that if you want to reduce acne or you want to clear your skin, you should reduce the consumption of milk. So would you recommend that for
uh,
even hormonal or patients?
See, milk consumption reduced. It's not that you have to stop it completely, because what happens that there are so many milk products we eat throughout the day. Like we have a cup of milk, then we have curd, then we have paneer, then we have cheese, then we have butter. So you cannot have so many milk products in a day. So it's like there has to be a quota of milk product. So two cups of milk, and whatever comes in those 2 cups, you're allowed to have those 2 cups of milk. Okay, so now in those 2 cups, it will cover your tea, coffee, or whatever, curd, paneer. So you have to divide your dairy consumption. Also, there is something called as healthy dairy products and unhealthy dairy products. So like milk, curd, buttermilk, these are all healthy dairy products. And
Mhm.
cheese, butter, they are all going to affect, because what happens that the dairy will hamper the, I mean, it has an effect on insulin resistance, and that's how you get more acne.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so
So,
dairy consumption should be under the limit. You don't have to stop it completely, but yeah.
okay, so is there anything in the dairy which is affecting our acne or the insulin resistance, as you just said? Is there anything in dairy?
Milk product, of course, people may have some. I mean, there has some effect of lactose on on these acne.
Mm, okay. And ma'am, as they said, like go lactose free, is there something called go gluten free for clear skin or good hair? Like, is it just lactose?
No, see, gluten is not bad. Some people are allergic to gluten, and
Mhm.
that time you have to go gluten free. Nowadays, people have this fad of losing weight in different stylish way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And gluten free diet is one of the what do you call it, it's a stylish way of saying that, if you eat gluten free diet you'll lose weight. But there are other things
Yeah,
also. You don't have to really go gluten free to reduce weight or to have good skin. I don't believe in that.
absolutely true. Thank you for that response. So, as we just want to summarize that gluten free and lactose free is only if you have some inflammatory markers. So, if I'm not wrong, your CRP levels have increased, then only you should resort to these things. Okay. So, doctor, there's a lot of like way people say like start with oral contraceptives or metformin for good skin, especially in PCOD. Would you recommend it for starting it like a first clinical start the medicine, or you will not advise it?
See what happens when it's a PCOD, it's a polycystic ovarian disease or a syndrome. So there are multiple organs involved, and so there are multiple specialities involved. So, like the person will consult, if they have any skin related issues, they will consult dermatologist. They will also consult gynecologist. They will also consult endocrinologist. Now, what happens that for a dermatologist to write oral contraceptive medicines, patients won't accept that from a dermatologist. Okay, they don't easily accept that. They take these medicines easily from gynecologist. Okay, so as my first line of therapy, I will not put them on oral contraceptives. If they have irregular periods, I will definitely tell them to keep a gynecologist also in the loop, because
Okay.
all these things are important. Metformin is a very good molecule, and if I have to treat, if they have any condition where I'm treating them and giving them a prescription, so I will treat them with metformin or finasteride, or there is something called as spironolactone. So but if they have irregular cycles, I will definitely keep a gynecologist in the loop.
Okay, okay. So we all are like dietitians or nutritionists here. What you would recommend for a PCOD diet? Like as in the favor of acne, strengthening your hair, or there's no hair fall, what would you focus on?
For PCOD diet, the most important thing is that they have to ideally stop sugar.
Okay.
That sugar is the most important thing they have to stop. If not stop, at least reduce it to a drastic level. Second
Okay.
thing, most important, is reduce oil consumption. uh, in India, our food, which is made in different oils like dal, sabzi, we give tadka to everything, right? And the oil consumption is way higher. So even if you tell them to reduce, what they will reduce is still higher. So you have to literally tell them that use maybe 1 tablespoon of oil for
Okay.
the entire for the cooking.
Okay. Okay.
Oil reduction in the oil, fried food is completely no for them. No fried food at all.
Mm-hmm.
Stop sugar. And what happens then, once after 3 4 months, once they see the result, just by stopping sugar and oil consumption,
Mm-hmm.
of course, then you don't have to follow this throughout your life, but you have to have that disciplined diet pattern. You can't just eat fried food all the time. Then your hormones are not going to come under control. So it's very important to have a watch on this. So
Yes.
these two things are most important:
Mm-hmm.
sugar, sweets. Lots of people, what they do, if we tell them that reduce sugar, sugar means sweeteners. It's not, they replace their sugar with good. It's the same. I mean, good is also prepared from sugarcane, and it's no sugar means no sweeteners. No, I mean, you have to stop all the sweets and sweeteners. And Of course, some people they ask that can we have sugar free? So, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
Continue.
Sugar free, stevia is still the a safe sugar free, I would say. And to stop that craving for sugar, they can have stevia. Stevia is still on the safer side of as a sugar free. You have to develop taste for that, and nowadays you get stevia chocolate, stevia, I mean you get stevia sugar to make different sweets in your house. Okay, so one is sugar and one is oil. Rest all is a healthy food only, I mean.
Okay, so doctor, we talked about the acne, we talked about the pigmentation. So in my practice, I advise a lot of iron, zinc, and folic acid if there is hair fall or dandruff or anything like thinning of hair. What would you recommend for just hair?
See, if there is hair fall happens because of multiple reasons. Like stress is the most important thing for hair fall. It can be mental stress, it can be physical stress, or it can be nutritional stress. So any kind of stress which body is going through, there will be inflammation at the follicular level, and at the follicular root
Okay.
when there is inflammation, hair starts falling. Okay, so it's
Okay.
always advisable to so that's why you have to give them lots of nutritional supplements. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's always advisable to do their hemoglobin, to do B12 level, D3 levels, because you can't give them random vitamins. Okay, it's not that each and every person will require zinc, iron, and So if if the patient is vegetarian, then their B12 levels are always low. In
Yes.
India, B12 and D3 levels are always low. So
Mm.
even if you correct B12 and D3, the hair fall will come under control, because these two levels have a huge impact on hair fall.
Okay.
So
Okay.
correction of B12 and D3 is very important. If their hemoglobin is low, then only you should give iron supplements. Otherwise, iron is not required. Uh, you can give calcium,
Mm-hmm.
B12, B3, I told you. And of course, biotin, though it is controversial, but controversial means some people, they feel that biotin is a placebo. And
Yes.
some people, they feel, but biotin works. So, of course, you can add biotin in your regime.
Okay, so it again gave me a lot of clarity because their market is flooded with these biotin gummies and tablets that it's good for your hair, your skin. I think this was very enlightenment for me. Okay, doctor, I'll take the last question. So a lot of people do like home
Hmm.
remedies to like be away with the pigmentation, acne. Would you recommend them, or would you recommend to consult a dermatologist first and then start with these home remedies?
See, home remedies is such a thing that it works for some people and it doesn't work for some people. There are lots of times people, they develop allergies, uh, what we call it, contact dermatitis. So home remedies is something which I won't promote unless and until I have seen the patient. I know her skin, how the skin reacts, because it's, you can't tell on on a public platform that okay, use these ingredients, because it may suit some people, it may not suit some people. And those who get allergies, the allergies can be really bad and aggressive. So
Okay.
unless and until I don't see the patient myself, I don't understand the skin, I won't tell to do any homemade remedies.
Because in our English, the first line of home remedy is the Upton. What we use is besan, lelia, thoda sa. We took like atta, burada, and then we add
Right.
curd and haldi. So and
Okay.
also
So
like,
this combination is very good.
mhm.
Uh, only thing is that sometimes when you apply it and allow it to dry and wash it, right? But some people, they rub it. scrub it. So now that rubbing and scrubbing can create problems if you already have acne. They can generate inflammation.
Okay.
So one has to be really careful when you put anything like basin,
Mm-hmm.
curd. Now, lots of times, curd being little oily can give additional acne, or what do you call it, whiteheads or blackheads. So you have to be really particular. So instead of curd, you can use a plain milk, like a raw milk.
Okay.
Okay, because curd is also a milk product, and you can use milk. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes with the those who have dry skin, and for them, if you are using a curd and what do you call it, milk cream, maybe it's fine. But for otherwise, you can use raw milk. So you can
Okay.
add raw milk in that.
That's very that's personally very okay. Okay. So we've just taken the last question, and if anyone have a question who wants to ask from Dr. Sanna, they can just ask it, and we'll just open the session for 2 more minutes. And yeah, doctor. So that's my personal question. So my this part is very prone to acne. So if you can see, I also have scars here. I'm not sure if you can. So I use a lot of Multani mitti, and one of my very dearest friends said that stop it because of the I don't have acne anymore, but I do have the scarring now. So would you recommend Multani mitti to me?
Multani mitti again is a good what do you call it, homemade remedy. It's not so certain things like Multani mitti won't react that much on people. So it is still safe, and it has a drying property, so it will make your skin dry, and thus it helps in acne.
Okay, okay. So
So Multani mitti is fine.
is it safe to use it every day?
Yeah, if you are facing too much of dryness, then you can use it maybe thrice a week or twice a week. But
Okay,
but by applying it every day, if it is not giving you dryness, then you can use it.
okay. So I have asked every personal question I could from you. So if anyone have a question, the session is open for another 2 minutes. They can just pop in their questions. I'll just see if we have any. Okay, we don't have any questions. So if anyone have a question, okay, Ashna, you can go ahead. You can unmute yourself. We can start with Ashna and then we can start with Shani. You can just unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi, hello. So
Yes.
basically, I wanted to ask that I think I'm 50 and my height is 5'2.5", and I'm weighing perfectly fine and I exercise, but I have PCOD and I have a lot of hair fall, but I don't have any facial hair or any acne showing results. I don't know why my periods are irregular, but I'm doing fine. Like maybe it's because of the sedentary lifestyle, but I do exercise about 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
your
How
question.
how old are you?
I am 20.
20. Okay. And so what's your problem? Matlab,
So
what is the problem you're facing? I
uh,
understood you have PCOD and you exercise, but what's
yeah,
your concern?
my irregular periods.
No, dear. If you have irregular period, you have to fix it once and for all. And unless and until there is a considerable amount of weight loss, periods won't come under control. And I would suggest that for first few cycles, you meet a gynecologist, fix your periods, and simultaneously reduce your weight, keep yourself physically active. Periods will fall in place. But
Okay, okay.
you need to show to a gynecologist.
But I'm very skinny. I'm skinny.
Acha.
Even if I
That's what
lose weight, yeah.
that's why even I had said that lots of skinny people they have PCOD, and
Hmm.
they're still then you have to consult the gynac, because if you're skinny, the advantage is that that your periods can be fixed. Lots of time people don't want to take oral contraceptives, and that's why they don't go to the
Hmm.
gynecologist, because the first line of treatment what they give is oral contraceptive. But I personally feel that within 6 cycles, if your periods are track, you must consult a
And one more question. I'm on a homeopathic medicine. I'm not taking
gynecologist.
any type of contraceptive pills. And I think they will benefit me in the long run because my periods will, I think they're coming back to normal place. Is it okay for the long run?
No, I mean, any pathy, if it is helping you, if you are getting your periods, then you might as well go ahead with that. You said you are not getting your periods.
Like I skip a month in between and then, um, you know, like 1.5 month, it takes time. So it takes a break of 1.5 month in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right now you're 20, and
Hmm.
I would suggest that if the problem persists, like, another 4 years, then for sure you need to at least once consult a gynecologist also.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor, for your answer. So we'll just take one more question and then we'll just wrap up the session. Chani, can you unmute yourself and ask your question quickly?
Yeah. Hi, doctor. I just would want to ask that what's your take on collagen? Nowadays, the market is flooded with type 2 and type C collagen, supplements, and also collagen builders supplements. The Neocell collagen synthesis of GNC and this Oziva and this Nutrova. So, does they really help?